So this is classed as dystopian science fiction on Amazon as well, and virtually none of the technology has been explained to me in this first book, so I'm not sure how it really falls into science fiction. But okay, dystopian definitely tracks. Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kat, and today I would like to talk about Blood Trials, the first book in the Blood Gift Duology by N.E. Davenport. This was also the October pick for the Genre Soup book club. I will link the discussion in the cards and in the description if it has already happened, and if not, then there should be a link for the live. I will once again pronounce every name incorrectly, I think, but here we go. Ikenna is still reeling from her grandfather's death when a friend of the family tells her that he did not die of natural causes. The best way to uncover who took her only family from her is to join the blood trials and try to become a Praetorian, an elite soldier in the Republic of Mareen. During these trials, Ikenna uncovers far more than just who killed her grandfather. There will be plenty of spoilers in this one because otherwise it's a bit tricky to talk about some things. So for starters, I think extensive world building has been going on behind the scenes. It just doesn't translate to the page all that well. I still don't know how some things work, in particular the magic. I don't know, it just seems to do whatever Ikenna needs it to do at points, and I don't know. I don't understand the rules. I don't know how much the technology can actually do either. They have biochips which increase healing speed and do other things for the Praetorians, for instance, but I don't know what the limitations of those are either. Ikenna is rather hot-headed, and at some point her quick judgment of others and her readiness for violence make her rather unlikable, which is generally fine. You don't need to like the character to find them interesting, but it didn't make the time with her all that enjoyable if you constantly have to question her intelligence, because her decisions are also not all that smart in various situations. And when she gets even a hint that somebody might be involved in her grandfather's death, she's instantly ready to kill without a shred of evidence, and yeah, that's a bit concerning. The racism and misogyny in this world and in this society are constantly present and constantly an obstacle for Ikenna. Possibly a bit too much, because given how openly racist and misogynist this society is, I'm just thinking of like Nazi Germany at the height of Hitler's power. This is pretty much what this read like to me. Why would they even bother making women think that they can join the army? There are a couple of females in this troop and in the Praetorians, but it's like 3 or 4 people in like the whole unit. And if you're so keen on keeping women in their place as second-class human beings, then why even bother letting them get this far? This also relates to the reason that Ikenna assumes for her grandfather's assassination. He was black like her, and the society is white. Well, I say the society is white, but the people in power, the racists in power are white. So, but Ikenna's grandfather held the highest position in the military for many, many years, as far as I understood it. He was a hero in the war, so obviously there was a reason not to take him out for the people in power. But then after he served his time in the army and the war was won, why would they keep him around if they were so keen on getting rid of everybody that is not white? But it's a couple of decades between the war ending and her grandfather being assassinated, so her reasoning there makes very little sense to me. Whenever you learn more about a character that Ikenna just met, or you start to like someone, expect them to die in a horrifying fashion really soon after. Now the worst part for me was how little sense the blood trials themselves make. You send all of these people who've been at the military academy for 10 to 12 years, they've been training, like a decade. You send them into these blood trials to determine who is good enough to make it into the Praetorian squad. So far, so good. But then the trials themselves are unnecessarily lethal. They get sent into challenges where it's just It's just a meat grinder, really. And then even if the challenge itself might possibly leave people alive, then the instructors might kill you if you don't get enough sit-ups or burpees in or something. It's like, what the hell? This is such a waste. So someone doesn't manage to do enough reps of some exercise, and instead of just getting kicked out, the instructor drops an explosive device on them and explodes their spine. It's like, what was the point of this? Yes, we understand that these trials are cruel and that the society is shit as a whole. We got that before. But this is just pointless. Those are people that joined these trials voluntarily. They've spent 10, 12 years training for this and they are loyal to the Republic. Why would you waste them like that? From the standpoint of the Republic, this makes no sense. Fine, they don't meet the requirements for the Praetorian, but they can still be soldiers. Why would you just waste so many lives of people that are willing to fight for the people in power and the Republic in general? It makes no sense. This is pretty much the Hunger Games, but with a lot more people that all join voluntarily when they really didn't need to, and without broadcasting it on TV. But yeah, one of the characters towards the end even points this out themselves, but there's not much of a discussion about it after. Additionally, the way the trials are set up, it would just breed animosity, not only between the people, potentially, but also between the people that are trying to get into the Praetorians and every single Praetorian that has a hand in instructing or overseeing these trials. You watch this guy kill somebody you've known for 10 years and then a week after you're supposed to join his squad and trust this guy? The point of a military squad or unit is that you can trust the other people in it with your life. And this is not achieving that at all. Ikenna is also overpowered. In addition to the 12 years that she actually spent training, so she earned herself those combat skills, no doubt about that. But she also has the blood gift, and she doesn't have to do anything for that to just be a lot better than everybody around her. And on top of that, her gift also seems to do whatever she needs it in any given situation. Extreme healing powers, done. Your blood can turn solid and be used as a weapon, done. Your blood needs to be able to corrode a gate or a prison cell, done. Mind control powers, sure, have it. It's like, what's there that she can't do? And these are in part powers that she's never used before, never noticed about herself before, but they show up just when she needs them. Reasoning and motives of characters get explained over and over, in particular Ikenna's, because you see the whole story from her perspective, but people just explain things over and over. And the book also does the thing that I hate in TV shows. Time is running out, they need to get out of the place, but instead of just getting a move on, they stand around and have a conversation about their motives or their feelings for however long, just long enough for things to get even more dire. And I just hate this. It's not even a trope, I just hate this thing. When people have to pass on information, it just gets explained again. Instead of just putting it in one line because the reader is already aware, you get to read the whole thing again. Ikenna's relationship with Reed is a roller coaster I really didn't care for. First, she suspects him of the murder and wants to kill him instantly, without evidence, as you do. Then she kind of likes him and wonders whether he could be an ally. Then she dislikes him again. Then she bones him, which seems to have something to do with her magic as well, but I don't know because the book doesn't really tell me. And then she dislikes him again for some reason, but then they're in the same unit, and I don't know, it just seemed completely unnecessary. And she definitely has enough enemies to not try and make one out of Reed as well. I expected one particular scene to turn out way worse than it actually did. So at this point we've learned that the Republic can tailor at least poison to one person specifically, which means they have genetic weapons, right? So they know what they're doing in that field. And then they go off to a summit of different leaders, and they are the only white people in the room. And they are not particularly nice to anybody around him. Like, they're proper assholes. It's like, you dare to make allies for the coming war, but they don't seem to give a shit at all. And while they were in this room with all of these non-white people, I was just like, is this going to turn into a gas chamber? Because those are the kind of people that I would expect to do just this. Thankfully, that doesn't happen. It's bad enough as it is, but at least this doesn't happen. And then a character who's been a raging racist and misogynist the whole time just does a 180 because he doesn't like what's happening to a friend in these trials and the trials as a whole. Suddenly he has doubts, which in and by itself, doubting the whole thing or the whole system after you've seen all of this crap, that makes sense. But doing a full 180 from racist and misogynist to supporting Ikenna, the only black woman in the whole Praetorian squad or in the military in general, that seems a bit extreme of a change. So overall, the concept was interesting, particularly for the magic, but it needed to be explained a bit more because I'm still rather confused about things. And then while Ikenna wasn't a particularly likable character to me, I kind of appreciated how ready she was to defend herself in any situation, and she could really punch people as well. So, and at least she earned part of that with all of her military training, so that was nice. But since the trials themselves make so little sense to me and things just get repeated quite a bit, I can't say I really enjoyed the whole experience, and I think overall I'm afraid it's a discat for me. Shame, but well. But if you like your stories violent, with a character who can kick ass, then this might be for you. Don't take just my word for it. Pick up the book yourself or read a chapter and find out for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to help the channel out, and let me know in the comments what your favorite dystopian book is. I'll be back next week with another video. Bye folks!